From theme parks to superheroes and the iconic Mickey Mouse, the empire of Disney truly knows no bounds. Not only is Disney one of the most successful companies in the world, it has managed to dominate one of the most powerful sectors in the economy, entertainment. No matter what part of the world you live in, Disney is easily one of the world's most recognizable names and is currently worth $130 billion US. But how did it all start? Let's find out. Before we continue, make sure to give this a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications. Let's begin. The story of Disney dates back to 1901, when Walter Disney was just a child who loved to draw and paint. However, from a young age, he started taking an interest in entrepreneurship by selling his artwork to his family and neighbors. And because of his talent, he ended up landing a job as a newspaper artist, all thanks to his brother Roy. After that, he tried his hand at animation and started developing advertisements for brands using cutout techniques. Walt immediately developed a love for animation, and in 1992, he set up an animation studio along with his brother in Kansas City. Their business was called Laugh-O-Gram, and it came out with a fairly successful cartoon called Alice in Cartoonland. But sadly, that wasn't enough to keep the work going, and Laugh-O-Gram fell into debt. Despite that, Walt didn't give up on his big dream. Him and Roy decided to take another shot and move to California to set up the Disney Studios. This bold move was risky at the time, but it proved to be completely worth it. Inspired by the grandeur of Hollywood, Walt and Roy, along with their cartoonist friend Ub Iwerks, Disney Studios went on to release a huge number of cartoons, all of them being a massive hit with the fans. After that, success grew for Disney when their cartoon Flowers and Trees won an Oscar in 1932. The show was the first ever cartoon to be made in color, earning Disney the honor of pioneering the modern cartoon. Soon after came Mickey Mouse, the biggest symbol for the brand's success even to this day. While Mickey certainly wasn't the first cartoon character Walt came up with, he has proven to be the most successful. While the initial movies featuring Mickey Mouse didn't really gain traction, it was in 1928 when Disney's short Steamboat Willie, featuring Walt himself as the voice actor for Mickey, premiered in New York. The film was the first ever animated movie with synchronized sound, and Disney practically made history with its release. And that was just the beginning. After this massive success, Disney shook up the scene once again with film production. Disney's first ever movie, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, was released in 1937, winning a grand total of 8 Oscars. Even today, Snow White remains one of the most iconic children's films of all time. At the time, the movie made a profit of $1.5 million despite the Great Depression. By then, it was evident that Walt Disney and Disney Studios were here to revolutionize the entertainment industry. With movies like Pinocchio, Cinderella, Peter Pan, 101 Dalmatians, Disney kept improving their animation techniques, and everyone else was far too behind to even try and catch up. The storytelling, the lifelike sound and animation. Disney was doing things no one had ever imagined, which is why people grew to love not just the movies, but also all the Disney characters. Disney merchandise started selling for millions of dollars because people were crazy to get their hands on it. Disney also broke new ground by mixing animated characters with real-life stars in the Mary Poppins film, once again doing something that no one could ever have thought of. And of course, no one can forget how Disneyland took the world by storm. A great defining point in the success of Disney as a brand, the opening of Disneyland in California in 1955 was a whole story in itself. It also helped Disney keep up with the kind of animated works they produced because the profits from the park were then used to fund the costs of Disney's expensive animations. In itself, Disneyland was unlike any other park ever before. It offered a whole resort for people who wanted the full Disney experience. It offered a space where the whole family could enjoy together, adding to its fame. From rides, Disney characters to restaurants, everything was true to the brand. Walter himself used to stroll around Disneyland, making sure that people were enjoying themselves. So it was no surprise when the park became such a huge success within kids and adults alike that it had to be expanded. Walt Disney World in Orlando opened in 1971 and saw incredible visitor numbers. But sadly, Walt Disney didn't live to see its success. However, his legacy still carried on when Disneyland went international and opened up its first park in France in 1992. Disneyland Paris was a big hit and had 11 million visitors in the first year. Currently, it has parks in Japan, China, and Hong Kong as well. After film and theme parks, Disney aimed to dominate the television industry as well. The brand soon started making films and shows targeted at teenagers, still keeping the content family-friendly. Disney began to make waves on TV when in 1983 it set up the Disney Channel. It was initially launched as a premium cable channel, airing shows for 16 hours a day and requiring viewers to subscribe in order to access it. After subscribers started growing, Disney Channel became a cable service, airing shows like Hannah Montana, Lizzie McGuire, and That's So Raven, all of them huge hits within the teenage demographic. When the 1990s came rolling around, Disney was once again looking to take over animated film, with the release of iconic box office hits like Beauty and the Beast and Lion King, earning millions of dollars in profits. Each year saw the release of another hugely successful movie: Pocahontas in 1995, The Hunchback of Notre Dame in 1996, Hercules in 1997, Mulan in 1998, and Tarzan in 1999. Disney's rise looked unstoppable. The company quickly figured out computer animation and purchased Pixar for $7.4 billion to release films like A Bug's Life, Toy Story, The Incredibles, and many more, producing some of the greatest animated films the world has ever seen. As if a $7.4 billion purchase wasn't enough, Disney, under the leadership of CEO Bob Iger, Disney bought Marvel for $4 billion, which is the equivalent of $4.85 billion or 3.7 billion pounds today after inflation, opening itself up to a brand new audience of largely young male viewers. Disney then went on to acquire Lucasfilms, the company behind Star Wars, and Fox Studios, to expand its fan base even more. And currently, Disney probably owns more than half of the studios in the entertainment industry, with plans to acquire much more. Walt Disney may have passed away in 1966, but his legacy for innovation has lived on. The company is now worth $223 billion, or 171 billion pounds, and took up a massive 40% share of the US box office in 2019. Disney's empire is built on its media services such as Disney+, Freeform, and ABC networks, parks, experiences, and products that are found at Disneyland locations throughout the USA, as well as in Hong Kong and Shanghai, now along with studio entertainment, including the sale of DVDs and distribution through Walt Disney Pictures, Marvel Studios, Pixar Studios, 20th Century Fox, and other companies. It's been over 50 years since Walter Disney's death, but the success his media venture has seen and still continues to see has no bounds. Disney has not just created an empire for itself, but it has also given its consumers unforgettable experiences. A plethora of talent has emerged from Disney, and that, combined with technological innovation, has made sure that Disney remains miles ahead instead of all its competition. Everything Walt did has spread joy and optimism all over the world. Today, Disney has taken over the world with its countless quality offerings. Disney has remained one of the world's biggest media players of all time, and if things progress the same way, it will continue to dominate entertainment for a long time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do remember to give this a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for future notifications. Be inspired, and we will see you in the next one.